Good morning ladies and gentlemen. In this video, we are going to cover the current affairs of 18th March. First question is, who has been appointed as mediator to resolve disputes of cricket administration in BCCI? Right answer is P.S. Narasimha. So recently, Supreme Court of India has appointed senior advocate Mr. P.S. Narasimha as mediator for resolving various disputes associated with cricket administration in our country. Apart from that, Supreme Court had also appointed Mr. D.K. Jain as the first court-appointed ombudsman for the BCCI. If we talk about BCCI, it stands for Board of Control for Cricket in India. BCCI was founded in 1928 and the headquarters of BCCI is in Wankhede Stadium in Mumbai. Presently, Mr. Ravi Sastry is men's cricket team's coach while Mr. W.V. Raman is women's cricket team coach. BCCI is affiliated to ICC. ICC stands for International Cricket Council. Presently, Mr. Shashank Manohar is the chairman of ICC while Mr. David Richardson is the CEO of ICC. And recently, Mr. Manu Sahani has been named new CEO of ICC. He will assume charge in July. The headquarters of ICC is in Dubai in UAE. UAE stands for United Arab Emirates. If we talk about UAE, it is a Middle East country and the capital of UAE is Abu Dhabi. Abu Dhabi was in news as recently Abu Dhabi Judicial Department has announced that Hindi will be the third official language in courts. Earlier, Arabic and English were the official languages. So now, Hindi, Arabic and English were the official languages in courts. Abu Dhabi was also in news as the most recent meeting of foreign ministers of Organization of Islamic Cooperation held in Abu Dhabi. India was also invited into this meeting and Ms. Sushma Swaraj was the guest of honor. Next is, which of the following cricket teams has won 2019 Syed Mushtaq Ali Trophy? Right answer is Karnataka. So Karnataka has won Syed Mushtaq Ali Trophy for the first time. They defeated Maharashtra. If we talk about domestic cricket tournaments, these are the domestic cricket tournaments: Duleep Trophy, Vijay Hazare Trophy, Devdar Trophy, Ranji Trophy, Irani Trophy and Syed Mushtaq Ali Trophy. Recently, Vidarbha won Ranji Trophy and recently Mr. Ashutosh Aman, who is from Bihar, has become the highest wicket taker in a single season in a Ranji Trophy. Apart from that, recently Mr. Wasim Jafar has become first batsman to score 11,000 runs in Ranji Trophy. Vidarbha, who was a Ranji Trophy winner, also won 2019 Irani Cup tournament. Next is Irfan KT, who recently qualified for 2020 Tokyo Olympics, is associated with which sport? Right answer is racing. So Mr. Irfan KT has become the first Indian from athletics to qualify for the 2020 Tokyo Olympics. If we talk about Tokyo, it is the capital city of Japan. The Prime Minister of Japan is Mr. Shinzo Abe, while the currency of Japan is yen. Japan will be the host of 2020 Summer Olympic Games. Maritowa is the official mascot of 2020 Summer Olympic Games, while Somaiti is the official mascot of 2020 Summer Paralympics. If we talk about Japan, it was in news recently as Japanese architect Arata Isozaki won Pritzker Prize. In addition to that, recently Mr. Kento Momota became the first Japanese man to win All England Open Badminton Championship. Apart from that, the first ever India-Japan space dialogue held in New Delhi recently. And Japan was also in news as it has announced its decision to withdraw from International Whaling Commission. Japan will be the host of 2019 G20 Summit. The last year G20 Summit held in Argentina in Buenos Aires. Argentina was also the host of 2018 Summer Youth Olympic Games. The next Summer Youth Olympic Games will be in Senegal and the capital of Senegal is Dhaka. India will be the host of G20 Summit in 2022. Next is, which IIT has signed a pact with C-DAC to build India's first state-of-art 1.3 petaflop high-performance computing facility? Right answer is IIT Kharagpur. So recently, IIT Kharagpur has signed a memorandum of understanding with C-DAC for India's first state-of-art 1.3 petaflop High-Performance Computing Facility. If we talk about C-DAC, it stands for Center for Development of Advanced Computing. It was established in 1988 and it is under the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology. If we talk about few other IITs which were in news recently IIT Ropar has developed a app named Roshni to help the visually impaired people to recognize Indian currency notes. IIT Hyderabad has launched India's first BTech course in Artificial Intelligence. IIT Hyderabad was also in news as it has developed a smartphone-based sensor to detect milk adulteration. IIT Madras was in news as it has developed Rice Creek microprocessors under Project Shakti. In addition to that, IIT Kharagpur was in news as it has developed National Digital Library of India. IIT Kharagpur was also in news as recently it has announced a 6-month course on artificial intelligence. On the other hand, IIT Kanpur was in news as it has developed a tool, Treadwheel, to help people to cope up with mental health issues. Next is Coorg Arabica Coffee, which recently got GI tag, is grown specifically in which district of Karnataka? Right answer is Kodagu. So recently, few coffee varieties were given GI tag. These are Coorg Arabica Coffee, Wayanad Robusta Coffee, Chikmagalur Arabica Coffee, Araku Valley Arabica Coffee, and Baba Budangiri Arabica Coffee. A question can be asked that these are associated with which state? If we talk about few other products which were given GI tag recently, the Marayur Jaggery from Kerala got GI tag recently. Apart from that, the Silao Khaja of Bihar got GI tag. Alfonso Mango from Maharashtra and Kadaknath Chicken from Madhya Pradesh also got GI tag. Shahi Lychee from Bihar and Kandmal Haldi from Odisha also got GI tag. Erode Turmeric from Tamil Nadu and Sirsi Supari from Karnataka also received GI tag recently. GI stands for Geographical Indication. Next is Maate Mahadevi, who passed away recently, was the spiritual head of which of the following communities? Right answer is Lingayat. Maate Mahadevi was a prominent Lingayat leader and she passed away recently. She was the first female Jagat Guru and she was the spiritual head of Indian Lingayat community. Next question is, which country is to host the Under-17 Women's World Cup in 2020? Right answer is India. So FIFA has recently announced that India will host 7th edition of Under-17 Women's World Cup in 2020. FIFA is a international football federation. The headquarters of FIFA is in Zurich in Switzerland. If we talk about Switzerland, it is a European country and the capital of Switzerland is Bern. The headquarters of WTO is also in Switzerland. WTO was formed in 1995 and recently it was in news as recently India has withdrawn MFN status, that means most favored nation status, from Pakistan. That means India had given this status to Pakistan in 1996 under WTO norms and now India has withdrawn that status. Pakistan has never given MFN status to India. Pakistan was also in news as FATF, that means Financial Action Task Force, has decided to keep Pakistan in grey list. Iran and North Korea are in the blacklist of FATF. FATF was also in news as recently Israel has become the 38th member of FATF. If we talk about FATF, it is Financial Action Task Force. It was formed in 1989. It is an intergovernmental organization and the objective of this organization is to combat money laundering and to stop terror financing. The headquarters of FATF is in Paris in France. The headquarters of OECD is also in Paris in France. OECD stands for Organization of Economic Cooperation and Development, and recently OECD was in news as India has signed an agreement with OECD for the participation in PISA 2021. PISA stands for Program for International Student Assessment and OECD conducts PISA every 3 years. Next is, who led the Indian delegation at first BRICS Sherpa meeting under Presidency of Brazil? Right answer is T.S. Trimurti. So recently, the first ever BRICS Sherpa meeting under the Presidency of Brazil concluded at Curitiba in Brazil. And from Indian side, T.S. Trimurti led the Indian delegation. If we talk about BRICS, it is an association of 5 countries. These are Brazil, Russia, India, China and South Africa. If we talk about the leaders of BRICS, the president of Brazil is Mr. Jair Bolsonaro, the president of China is Mr. Xi Jinping, our prime minister is Mr. Modi, Russian president is Mr. Putin, and the president of South Africa is Mr. Cyril Ramaphosa. And Mr. Cyril Ramaphosa was the chief guest of this year's Republic Day ceremony. If we talk about the summits of BRICS, the 9th summit of BRICS held in China, while the 10th summit held in South Africa. Brazil is the host of 11th summit of BRICS. There is one more organization associated with BRICS. It is New Development Bank, or it is BRICS Bank. The president of New Development Bank is Mr. K.V. Kamath. The headquarters of New Development Bank is in Shanghai in China. Shanghai was in news recently as world's largest 3D printed concrete bridge was recently completed in Shanghai. It was also in news as world's first underground hotel was opened in Shanghai in China. Next is West Nile fever, sometimes seen in news, is spread by, right answer is mosquito. So the West Nile virus fever is a mosquito-borne viral infection. It is quite rare in India and it is the single-stranded RNA virus that causes West Nile fever. If we talk about the host of this disease, as per WHO, West Nile fever is transmitted to human through mosquito bites. Mosquitoes get infected when they feed on infected birds. That means birds are the natural host of West Nile fever. Now why this particular event was in news? It was in news because a boy from Kerala was recently diagnosed with West Nile fever. And since it is quite rare in India, therefore it is a matter of concern. Next is Darryl D'Monte, who passed away recently, was the veteran personality in which field? Right answer is journalism. Darryl D'Monte, the senior journalist and environmental activist, has passed away recently. If we talk about few other personalities who passed away recently, Miss Vinod Kashyap, who was a veteran Hindi newsreader, passed away. She was associated with All India Radio. Apart from her, recently Mr. Walt Smith passed away. Mr. Smith popularized the term global warming. He was from USA. On the other hand, recently Mr. Jerry Merriman passed away. He was the co-inventor of pocket calculator. And Dr. Joros Alfaro, who was a Russian physicist and Nobel Prize laureate, also passed away recently. Thank you, and that's all for the day.